I was actually waking up to the press conference of the label that I did with Roc Nation, because we did it the day before and we were supposed to release it at 8 in the morning. And I was waking up just to see the news and the feedback from that, and I got a text that said call. I called and they said I was off probation, and basically I was just shocked, you know what I'm saying? I laid in the bed for another hour and just thought about everything I've been through, and I'm still going through that at this point. I'm like, really, I ain't take it all the way in with me actually being on probation so far. It's almost like hard to believe if you living in something for 11 years and I had to stop to see my PO every 30 days for 11 years. I had to piss in front of a PO for the last 11 years. I couldn't travel without calling someone for the last 11 years. So, you know, I'm just still like taking in how to transition out of that mind frame, really. It's still a shock.
And what's kind of one thing that you couldn't do with probation, or one thing that was always on your mind that now you can do without even thinking twice?
It's just many things. Just take my son to Disney World tomorrow. You know, I'm a musician. I make a good amount of money. I could just get up tomorrow and want to take my son to Disney World. With probation, you couldn't do that because you would have to call and check before you take your son to Disney World. And sometimes the way it worked is we had schedules that was like planned out for 30 days. You had to submit a 30-day schedule to your probation officer. And in the music business or in my normal life, things change overnight. And if it's the weekend, I can't get a hold of my probation officer. I couldn't do a special activity with my son or my family. My mom was living in New Jersey. I lived in Philadelphia, just a bridge, South Jersey, 10 minutes away. If my mom was having a problem while she was sick, I couldn't just cross the bridge and go see my mom without taking a risk of going to prison. Everything happens for a reason type of guy. All it did was make me stronger and take me further. I don't believe that life is easy. Anything about life is easy. I think we all have our own struggles. This is my struggle. My struggle might have been to help make change. And, life has been pretty good for me from the circumstances I actually started from in poverty in the ghetto to where I'm at now. I wouldn't change anything. I used to always say that, like at the end of even some of my music, I used to always say that probation is going to put me back in prison, or one day she's going to send me to a state prison because of something stupid on probation. And I just always felt that in my heart. I never thought it was like, I never thought I could do, because I had 10 years. I had a technical violation. It ended up turning into 16 years. I never thought in my mind that I could do 16 years of probation living as a young man, you know, out of 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years of your life. Them years, that stage of your life, you know, you make mistakes. You're a young adult, you living, you having fun, you living your life, you make mistakes. Not saying committing crime, but, you know, you're not perfect. And I never thought in my mind that I would make it through that without being sent to prison. Associating with a felon is a technical violation. Police contact, like not even being arrested by police. Police contact is a technical violation. Traveling, crossing the state line and not even knowing, that's a technical violation. In Atlanta, you can get locked up for doing 70 miles, 80 miles an hour. That's a technical violation. So there's so many different ways you can lose your freedom. I never really thought I could make it out of that. Even though I set boundaries, you know, I make mistakes, and every time it pulled me back, but you know, I managed to crawl up out of it and come back stronger. Don't let it happen to you, let it happen for you. Like me, I ain't let it happen to me, you know, I let it happen for me. Like, I went through everything I went through, and I came out of it and turned it into my situation, you know, like doing reform and trying to shed light on the system through my platform and everything I've been through. So, you know, I didn't let it happen to me, I'm letting it happen for me. And, you know, keep your head up, you know, you have people like us fighting in your corner, and never really lose hope. Keep fighting, because you know I never thought I would see the day that I would be off probation and just living a normal life, even while being successful.
You never thought you'd be off probation?
No, I ain't never really see the day of me being off probation. Really, I couldn't really see it. It was so far away.
It's even more of a relief now, right?
Yeah, it's a big weight off your shoulders. Our Reform Foundation is specifically tackling probation and parole, because you know that's a big part of the system. Like we have a lot of people in America in and out of prison on probation and parole. Even me myself, when I was locked up, for my personal experience, the state penitentiary was filled with killers, people who raped, and technical violators. Like, so it was like a big gap. You had people who didn't commit crime, with the lifers. It was like that was like probably 90% of the jail, technical violators and lifers. So, what was your question again? What you saying?
Oh, I think you got it. What did it mean for you to have Jay-Z in your corner?
It's everything to me, you know, just having Hov is like an idol of mine. I always looked up to him my whole career coming up, and having someone like that in your corner, someone strong, someone actually knowing the obstacles and different hurdles it takes to get to this point, because we come from the same type of environment, to back me is very important. And he's a part of this documentary today to help me get this story going.
And what can we expect about your new label deal with him?
You're going to expect a lot of great artists. You know, we only plan to win. Jay-Z wins a lot. I win a lot. I don't think we came in to do friendly business. We came to get a win and make a lot of noise and make some power moves. My son don't really understand that to this point. Only thing he understands is if my dad is in jail or he's not in jail. He knows I've been in his life. I'm not in prison, and I never really even sat down to explain that part to him of me not being on probation, because I go to court April the 6th of this month, and hopefully the conviction gets tossed all the way. But as of now, I'm not on probation, and I'll probably explain it to him further down the line. He always asks me to come on stage, and you know I'm like family oriented. So my son want to come on stage, I always say no in the beginning. I'm like, I'm doing business, and if I feel like it, the time is right, I always just let him have fun and just see what it feel like. Me coming up the way I came up, it was like we didn't really like have a lot of value to ourselves, because it was like we come from a rough neighborhood where you probably only had your mom to take care of you. Most of us come from like single parent homes, and you don't really feel a lot of value. So I try to put my son in places where he feel value. You know, he might think he a star. He coming out on stage and people clapping for him. He's surrounded by a good family and things like that. So, you know, I try to let him have fun as much as he can.
Do you want him to follow in your footsteps?
I want him to do whatever he want to do, really. You know, I don't really care. This is a hard life, too. Making music and traveling and being famous and maintaining a state of happiness with doing all this work. You know, it's a lot of work we do. We travel a lot. I'm away from my child a lot. I'm away from my family a lot, because, you know, I travel probably 5 days out of the week. And it's a hard job. So it's whatever he want to do.
How do you guys spend the time together when you aren't together?
We chill. We go out a lot. We go out to restaurants a lot. My son like to ride motorbikes and dirt bikes like me. We ride a lot at my mom's house. Spend a lot of time at my mom's house in New Jersey, because it's like the family house, the meeting grounds for like me, my sister, niece, nephew, and my son. But basically, son and dad time, whatever he want to do.
Does he freestyle like you?
Not really. But that was probably my first time hearing my son rap in 4 years. He don't really rap, but you know, we just play around. Come on the stage and rap. It's just unfair. Someone picked a fight with him. Someone threw the first punch. He stated on camera, even after someone tried to attack him, I don't want to go to prison. We don't want to fight you. The men followed them, threatened them. He defended himself. I don't think it's right, and I would say free A$AP Rocky.
What advice would you give him being stuck in Sweden?
Hold his head. I know that's probably like a hard situation, being locked up in another country. He probably isolated. He probably is not in contact with his family the proper way. I believe he probably knows 0% about their system in Sweden. Hold your head, and it's all really mental. And keep hope alive. You ain't gonna be there forever. This day gonna pass, and hopefully you realize the injustices that's across the world, not even just in America, how things work and how broken the system is and the mind frame of the system. And hope you come home fighting too, like myself. Music, I'm in the studio like every day. You know, I'm working on a new project. I didn't come up with a title yet. And we're ready to just drop some new music and keep things going. We got the Legendary Nights tour, me, Future, Megan Thee Stallion, YG, and Mustard. You know, we just giving you a clash of a bunch of hip-hop artists from all different coasts, and bringing all our talents together and giving people a legendary night. So make sure you go get your tickets soon. I think it's been a significant amount of time. She's been doing a lot of work, and everybody that's using a platform helps. Kim is a friend of mine. We always talk about everything that's going on in the system, and I think she's doing a lot of good work. She's doing a lot of work, more than other people who have platforms, who might even came from that situation. So, you know, big ups to her and big up to everybody that's working for a better cause, not even just for reform. I think she commented on my Instagram and saying congratulations because she know I've been going through this a long time too.